I have no one to really tell this to, but I'm like 4 days late on my period, and I don't know what this can mean. Like, can you imagine me getting pregnant right now? Oh my gosh. That would just be crazy. And this economy? Oh.
I'm smiling, but it ain't funny.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Smart Money Habits. I want to say thank you to you guys for all this wonderful support you've given me lately. I really appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about the high cost of childcare in different countries around the world. I'm not going to hold you. Let's jump right into it.
I got you, homie. Let's go.
So if you're thinking of having children, maybe just watch this video to see how much childcare costs, because it is insane. So first of all, I have two babies. The youngest has been in nursery since July 21. So it's 35 months, but I did take them out for 7 months because the nursery increased their prices and I just couldn't afford it. It was absolutely nuts how much I was spending a month. So for 7 months of this 35 months, I worked nights and then looked after the kids all day. For Spencer, who is nearly 4, he now gets 30 hours free childcare, which he's had for nearly a year. In 28 months, I have spent £20,495 on childcare. That includes my 20% discount I get from the government gateway, 30 hours free childcare, £20,000. Then I have another baby. So for Preston, he started nursery in August 2022. He gets 12 hours free childcare because we're in a flight area. That started January this year. He didn't go for 7 months because I worked nights. So he's actually only been in nursery for 15 months. And for him, we've paid £8,707. Gets a 10% sibling discount, which is included in that £8,000. In total, over 28 months, is £29,202. This isn't even full time. They go 4 days a week. £9,000. That's so depressing.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Having to pay childcare for one kid is bad enough, but two, I couldn't imagine.
About the cost of childcare in Australia compared to Dublin and how much more expensive it is for us to have our kid in daycare here than it was in. Now, this isn't to throw shade at the childcare centres in Ireland. It's just purely because in Australia, the government provided a lot of assistance to families. I think this is probably important to know if you have kids and you want to live here, because obviously this is going to have an impact on your budget on a monthly basis. So this is the subsidy offered by the Australian government. So if your household earns less than $80,000 per year, you get a whole 90% off your bill. Now, if you're this is household income, so by yourself, you might earn that. But if you're in a couple, it's more likely that you're going to earn more than $80,000. So then it starts going down by 1% for every $5,000 earned. So roughly, I think if you earn as a household below, I think it's around 180 or 177, you're going to get at least 50% off your childcare bill. And then it sort of caps out at $500,000 in terms of an income, which, a very few percent would be earning that. Now, to be fair, Ireland does provide some help. So it'll give you €1.40 off per hour. Our childcare bill is just under €1,000 per month. That's €250 per week. At one point, we had 2 kids in daycare in Australia, and it didn't amount to the cost of one child being in daycare here in Ireland.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
Hey, if you have kids, how much do you pay every month for childcare? Leave a comment down below.
Hey, question for the class. How much do you guys pay for daycare where you live?
Okay, so I live in Japan. Specifically, I live in Okinawa, which is an island 400 miles off the coast of mainland Japan. It's actually the poorest prefecture of all of Japan, so costs might be a little bit different. But childcare here in Japan is anywhere from $300 to $500 a month for full-time care. That includes snacks and meals. And daycares here are very scheduled and they have great curriculums. But the government invests a lot of money to make childcare affordable. So the $300 to $500 is what you would pay for out of pocket, full price, without any government assistance. But a lot of families don't pay anything at all. And from 3 to 5, it's actually free for everyone. But the government tries their best to make it affordable and accessible for all families. And if you have more than one child, the government is currently in the works to make childcare free for that second child. Japan has had a declining birth rate for a while now. So if you have kids, you have children, you actually get paid monthly by the government, kind of like an incentive to have kids and help with the cost of kids.
Sometimes I look at kids or movies or baby clothes and I'm like, I want a kid. And then I realize that in this economy, I can't afford a kid, especially at this age. Like, I'm sure people have kids, but I don't think I can financially afford kids in this economy, especially since I'm still not done with my education. And it's just so hard though to fight the maternal instinct, because I feel like I have such a strong maternal instinct, and a lot of people are like, just fight it. But I'm like, Sometimes I look at kids or movies or baby clothes and I'm like, I want a kid. And then I realize that in this economy, I can't afford a kid, especially at this age. Like, I'm sure people have kids, but I don't. My due date is getting closer and closer. It's still months away. I'm almost, in 2 days, I'll be officially 6 months pregnant. But I keep seeing these videos about like people's finances and like, how are people affording life right now, and groceries, and like, we're all dealing with that. But it's crazy how I feel like middle class has changed from what it used to be, like even just when I was younger, and I'm young, like I'm 24, to what it is now. It's like, I'm about to have a baby this summer, and man, what I would give to be a stay-at-home mom. Oh my gosh, I would do anything to be a stay-at-home mom, but it can't work. And like, if I had the mortgage payment that like my parents have, and they have a big home, like almost 10 acres of land, and I don't have anything near that. Me and my husband, we're in a starter home, and it's nice, but we're paying an arm and a leg for it. And it's that, and just on top of the economy, is preventing me from being able to be a stay-at-home mom when, like, on paper, I feel like I should be. Like, my husband does really well. I've done really well in my career so far, just the 2 years I've been out of school. So it would like really, really hit if I were to stay home. But it's like, oh my gosh, what I would do. And like, even if I did stay home, just our mortgage payment alone, like what we would have left over is just like groceries, like $1,000 a month. And like our internet bill went up again to $92 a month. And just on top of living and having fun and like all these things, because I want to live my life and I'm going to want to still go and do things as a stay-at-home mom, but there would be no way I'd be able to if I wasn't working. So it's just crazy how just these past few years, how like I should be able to stay home if it were, let's say, maybe 10 years ago. But now it's just like there's literally no possible way, and we're bringing in an income that like looks really good. You know what I mean?
So I'm just sitting here. I just got done with lunch, and I'm trying not to stress out because it's just part of life right now, but I am so sick of wondering how we're going to pay for things. Is anyone else with me? Because I just bought groceries and I'm still confused about how much money I actually spent, because I specifically only bought the things that we needed. I didn't buy random stuff like I sometimes do. I went off the list of the things that we needed, and we're getting ready to put my daughter in full-time daycare, which means both kids will be in full-time because they need to be. I have to work. I work from home, but like I still have to work, and my husband works full-time. And I really just don't know how we're going to afford it. I'm trying to budget and everything, but you guys, this economy has got to, something's got to happen, because like we should not be struggling or worrying about if we can afford things, because my husband and I have very good jobs. Like, we do well for ourselves, but it doesn't show that we're doing well because everything is so freaking expensive. I'm just stressed and going on a rant. So here's my TED Talk for today. I'm freaking over it.
A lot of people ask me, what's the biggest like culture shock from moving from the United States to the Middle East here in Kuwait? For me, I feel like there's going to be more culture shock when we go back to the United States, because there are things that are like normal here that I'm like, man, I mean, I think each country could learn something from each other. Now, keep in mind the prices I'm getting ready to tell you, money, like $200, $300 for us is not that much. My truck payment, is that, well, actually my truck payment's $500 a month, but when that translates, converts to other, like, for the Filipinos, the Indians, that can be a lot of money for them for the month. So childcare, I was blessed with some amazing friends and family to help with the girls. I still paid my friends weekly to watch our girls. But I know there are daycares and other child care providers. Typically, it's in Southeast Kansas. I think it was anywhere from maybe 90. I think the lease was $100 a week per kid, all the way up to maybe 140, 150, with the newborn stage. As they get in school, it gets cheaper. So let's just say $120 a week per kid. I have 2 kids, so $240 a week, and so that $485. Almost $1,000 a month in childcare, and some people might spend, $500 to $600 a month in childcare. That's just childcare alone. Here in the Middle East, it is so quick and easy to find a nanny. A lot of the apartments actually come with what's called a maid's room, and they have their own bathroom. Some families will have a live-in nanny, and that means like you sponsor their visa. And some people will have a live out nanny. So a full-time nanny that just comes every day. Typically, I think they have 1 day off a week, maybe 2 days. It just depends how many kids are in the house. Some people have 1 nanny per kid, or 1 nanny for 2 or 3 kids, or they have a nanny if they have an older parent or grandparent living with them. But you can get a live-in nanny that cooks, cleans, takes care of all of your children, for about, I know some that, maybe 150 KD to 200. So $450 to wait, I'll just say $400 to $600 a month. It really just depends, how much you want to pay. I don't know. So $400 to $600 a month. You can get a live-in nanny that cooks, cleans, and takes care of your children. You could have 2, 3, 4 children. It depends how many nannies you want. You could just do the 1 nanny. I think majority of what I've seen that what they get paid is around 150 to 200 KD a month. So that's usually like 450, 500 US dollars a month. Josie's in heat right now, so she's super lovey-dovey. So, and same for our live out nanny. You can get a full-time cleaner, babysitter for like $400 a month. You can pay them about $6 an hour. That's about 2 KD an hour. 2.5 is like the high end. Some people pay as low as 1.5. The gal that we use, we do pay her 2.5. But the shock for me is I'm like, man, $450, $500 a month is like, for us, that's not that much money. Like our truck payment, we still have a truck in the United States, is like $500 a month. But for those like in the Philippines, in India, a lot of the nannies are Filipino and Indian. I don't know, maybe Bangladesh. But for them, that's a lot of money. They can support their family. They're here to work, and they send money back to their family. But yeah, it's just so quick and easy to get someone to help you out in your home. And honestly, I think it's amazing. Now, I've heard of some nannies being mistreated. If they raise their voice or yell at the household, they get sent back. They stop that contract. They stop sponsoring their visa and send them back to their home country. I've also heard of nannies just, being good for 5, 6, 7 years with these families, and then they up and steal everything and leave. So I've heard good and bad about nannies. I've heard good and bad about the families they work for. So say what you want about that. Everyone has there's good and bad people everywhere in the world. So just treat each other right and with respect. But the childcare here is just, it's amazing. If I just need a break, if I want to go to the doctor without taking the girls, I can get the nanny. You guys know, several malls have play places for kids. There are several kids here I've seen. They have these, it's called My First Phone, FONE. And these watches, for like a 3-year-old, can video chat you. You have their GPS, whatever. Not that, if they're with their nanny, or if they get lost at a park or something, it's kind of like the air tags, I guess, but it's a watch. So yeah, that's one of the biggest culture shocks for me is just have like how
many people have nannies in general. And like I said, cook, clean, take care of your kids, $400 to $600 a month, and it's way cheaper than just childcare alone in the United States.
Hey, thank you guys for watching the video. And once again, I want to thank you guys for all the support you've given me lately. I couldn't be more grateful. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And take care of yourself. And until next time, we out.